Welcome to another Keelhauled Podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we've got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to cover today. So tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week not only celebrates the 400th episode of the Keelhauled Podcast, but I guess there's some news we should probably cover as well, too. So I hope you are all looking forward to this episode. I don't have anyone special lined up for it. I did reach out to Drew and he was not available. I didn't get any word back from anyone else, but that's fine because sometimes just being able to continue doing this is the reward itself. And I'm very happy that we have some stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about the news for January. We're going to be covering the believe it or not, the Scarlet Stack sales. That is actually something that people may or may not be trying to get a hold of just due to limitation, maybe not necessarily buy the actual thing. But there's a lot to get into, pirates. So with that, let's get into it. But before I get into any of that, I have to thank the patrons. They are the ones that are supporting this content by going over to patreon.com/Keelhauled Podcast to show their support. And boy, does it make a lot of difference when it comes to taking care of the podcast. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to use the software that I do. I'd have to really kind of change things up. They've been able to replace equipment for me in the past. They've been able to help me upgrade my setup to try and sound as good as possible. So thank you to them for all of the donations and the support that they've shown over the multitude of years. And I really do appreciate that because there are some folks out there like Chateau Neuf, who has been supporting for almost the entirety of the existence of Patreon, as well as numerous other old salts who have really just been family to me. And it really does mean that. I really do mean that. Like, they are family. If there was ever something going on, or if I needed help and I was in their area, I would call them, I would text them, I would see if they were available to help me out, because they have been very, very crucial to a lot of like my life in the last, gosh, it's since 2018, basically, since I started the podcast. So it really does mean a lot that they still continue to show support through Patreon, because they don't have to. They know I'm going to love them regardless, but it makes a difference. It helps make the podcast easier to make. So because of that, I like to shout out their names on every episode to let them know that I appreciate them. We're going to start off at the top of the list with A-Chick. Thank you to A-Chick, L Cute, Balls, Blue Turtle V1, Captain Chonky, Captain Longsharts, Chateau Neuf, Super Pack, Zombie Killer, Cosmic Johnson, Static Mirror, Crazy Frog, Davram TV, El Jefe Esteban, Godhammer 6, Jeff H, Carl Embo of Embo Family Gaming, Kylia the Aficionado, Elvin Vramir, Evil Morpheus, Space Admiral Ors, Xbox Mike 29, Rabid Raccoon, Registella the Brony Pirate, Ribloid, Rustbelt Kid, Sea Leg Sam, Shoe Daddy 13, Skamelt 666, Tales of the Sea, The Demon Jester, Tommy D, TN Professor, Wailing Witch, Big Bad Pad, Mina Fairy, Heger Owl, Captain Duckweed, Evil Martha, Peter Miller, Rooski Doo, Thor Von Blitz, Luke Lore the Insipid Ghost, and Thank you all so much for your love and support. It really does mean the world to me. And if it wasn't for you, I'd have a lot harder time making this podcast. Let's get into it. First on today's docket, let's talk about chips, or fries or whatever the UK likes to call them. Crisps. I think it's crisps. It's crisps. I just forgot. Let's talk about Pringles. Pringles. If you guys have ever had Pringles, you know, it's the pop to top. It's the tube of chips, and they've been around for quite a long time. It's kind of surprising to think about just how long Pringles has been in the industry, just in general. I never really thought about it too much. But they are a company. They're owned by Pringles. And you might be wondering, if you don't follow social media, why I'm bringing up chips. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't think I would be. But it turns out that Pringles is doing a promotion everywhere except for the United States. I'm not really sure why that is. But it doesn't seem like North America is getting a whole lot of love in this. And it seems more and more that this is something that's happening overseas with the Oreo collaboration that was also done overseas from the US. So everyone, you know, a lot of people, turns out, live in Germany, or at least lived in Germany for as long as a free trial of a VPN would allow them to. Similarly, Pringles has a promotion going on, and this one is a Microsoft based one. So if you're not into Sea of Thieves, and for some reason you're listening to this podcast and you happen to be into Fallout 76 or World of Warcraft, or you even recently picked up the Outer Worlds or picked it up on Game Pass Ultimate, then you can still actually get some benefit out of that. The promotion itself is going on for quite a while. It kicked up as a limited time event starting on January 6th. And if you're looking to get the Sea of Thieves items from this, you'll have to be outside the United States. Now, there's already been some folks that have been able to get this through a VPN, through scanning it. You have to go to the promotional page. You don't necessarily have to sign up for it, but I have seen that there's been a lot of things where the companies are trying to prevent people with VPNs to be able to just get these. I don't know why they care about that. I genuinely don't understand it. But you do have to be outside the United States. You do have to go to one of the sites. I think I've seen a Portugal one. I've seen the UK site, and they're all relatively the same. You have to scan a QR code with your phone, and then you have to take that website and access the promotion through your phone, which if you have a VPN, you can download an app to give you a VPN. Then you should be able to set your location in one of the different states. I have not done that yet. I'm relying on friends and community members who have said that they've been able to go to try and actually acquire some of the codes to be able to provide them to people that want them. And it's one of those ones where it's going to be a 5x5 promotional code that you have to enter into the website and then have connected up to your Xbox account to be able to have the sales actually attached to your account. Now, as far as I've seen, no one has said that they've had their code or their sales removed from their account if they were picking up the code outside of the UK or any of the countries that are currently using or not able to get it. Like if you're in the United States and you're getting a VPN or you're given a code, I haven't heard anything about them saying that you can't get it or that they're going to remove it. But for all intents and purposes, folks are looking to try and help out with that. I know from myself, there's all 4 of the games that are on promotion, both Outer Worlds 2 and Fallout 76, less games that I've played on the regular. I did a review for the Outer Worlds 2. I think it was a fantastic game. Would love to have all the free time in the world to be able to play through it again. And Fallout 76 is just a really fantastic game with an amazing community of people. And I absolutely love the Fallout world. I think it's a really cool world. The Wastelander experience is fun. And I still think that there's a full-fledged game in Fallout 76 when we might be getting news about it. And the second season of Fallout's out, and I still haven't actually sat down to watch it. Because I think it's ending in February. I want to say it's ending in February. So I'm kind of waiting to kind of have like all of those episodes out before I sit down and watch those. But like World of Warcraft, I've got an amazing house. I don't know how to tell you all this, but World of Warcraft has got Animal Crossing and The Sims up the wazoo, and it's everything I thought it would be. So I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft, but Sea of Thieves, my main game, as you know, for all intents and purposes, I'm making a podcast about it. You get these Pringle sales. Now, I haven't actually even seen what you get for the other ones. I think for Fallout, you get a suit that makes you look like the Fallout guy, but with the Pringles mustache as a giant mask. I don't know what you get for any of the other stuff. I really don't. I've been kind of scrubbing through social media to try and see if I can find what you get, but I can't find it. No one's posting images of it. So I'm happy for those that have it. No clue what you get at all. And I think the midnight stuff for World of Warcraft, I don't even know if that's something that you can even have right now. You might have to actually wait till midnight is out before you actually get access to it. But of course, with Sea of Thieves, anytime there's a promotion, I find out that there's a lot of people that live in the UK that I previously thought lived in the United States. And they recently have like been able to find a can and get a code and then apply that code and then somehow managed to move all the way back to the United States so quickly. But looking at the sales, these are, as far as a promotion, the sales that we're getting it's okay. It's all right. They're not the greatest. I'm not going to say that these are ugly by any means. But if you were to look at these and kind of like, you know, judge for yourself, like how these look, they're probably the most, how can I say this? If you're on a galleon, you have the two sales. You have the main sale and the top sale. The main sale is kind of it's a black with red smears rising up as if it looked like flames, but a very kind of muted flame look. And there's the little red bow tie for the Pringles guy in the middle. And then on the top flag, it's just the bow tie on a white flag as just a big one. And to be perfectly honest, the top flag itself actually looks like one of the more authentic, like nautical flags. Like, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there are maritime signal flags that are just very common used. And it kind of looks like the Bravo flag. If you were to take the Bravo flag or like the warning flag and you were to mirror it, that's kind of what this looks like. So it's very understated as far as the livery set goes. But it's one of those things that even though I think that the Oreo set was way nicer in my opinion, I really genuinely like think that the Oreo set is like one of the best promotional sets that we've gotten outside of video game tie-ins like the Gears of War, the Halo stuff, you know. But I mean, this one, it's hard to kind of not want it because it's going to be one of those ones, kind of like the Bonnie Bell ones, where it's going to be rare. You're not going to really see this out there too much. Not too many people are going to really like have this in a few years, which kind of gives you that sense of like, I kind of need it. You know, it's that FOMO. That FOMO is kicking in. So it is available. I'm trying to see if I can find on the website when it's going to be made available. It is realistically only going to be in Europe and South America. And it looks like a few other places. So like UK, Ireland, France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Cyprus, Malta, Greece, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovenia, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Moldova, Iceland. Iceland is getting it. Croatia, Romania, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Bosnia, Herzegovina. I can never say this one. Herzegovina. I can never say it. I've always had trouble with that one. Montenegro, Albania, Serbia, Poland, Ukraine, and Macedonia. Almost skipped on a Macedonia there one. But those are all the countries that are going to be available for this. And again, all you have to do is go to your local or your regional Pringles website.com dot whatever or dot .ca, or I guess it's not even CA. Canada doesn't even get this. I thought it was actually going to be a lot more South American now that I think about it, but not even Australia gets this. Like Australia is out of it as well too. And that's surprising to me. But it is going to be available. Let me take a look at the website and see if they say when this promotion is going to be ending, because they usually do say when it'll be done. Let's see. Oh, that's the Fallout 76 flavor. Okay, so it turns out they actually have a Fallout 76 flavor one. You can claim one of 4 in-game rewards. It has to be between one of the 4 games. You can claim 1 per day, and 1 of each reward. So you can get up to 4. You do have to have a smartphone with a camera and internet access to be able to do this. And it looks like looks like this is going to be claimed between July 1st and June 1st and July 5th are the ones where you can scan the QR code, visit thepringles.com, and register in between that time to claim it. So it may just be one of those things where, for all intents purposes, the website wasn't supposed to go live until June, but the promotion kicked off in January. So we may still have an opportunity to just use our phone to go in and do this, because there has been a pretty hard stop. A lot of folks have had trouble getting it ever since it got out that all you had to do was have a VPN with your phone and you didn't need to actually have the purchase. I would imagine that Pringles caught wind of this and decided they'd rather sell chips than worry about promotion and shut it down for the time being. But the terms and conditions do state that, at least for the UK, which I think is due to regulation there, you can do it with just using the QR code. So yeah, it's another weird promotion that came in for Sea of Thieves. And at this point, honestly, if I had the opportunity, I would get 4 codes and I would redeem each code each day and get whatever the thing was for each of the 4 games, because I actually like all 4 games. I think all 4 games are actually really good games. So kind of an interesting one there, but I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about it in case you have access to these in your area and didn't know about them. Definitely keep an eye out. People have been seeing the cans out there. So you can actually go and I mean, I don't blame you. Like, who doesn't like a good sour cream or a good salt and vinegar Pringles chip, or a barbecue if you want to go, like traditional, but that's out there. So folks, keep an eye out for that if you want. If not, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Next on today's docket, let's talk about January's Sea of Thieves news article for the month. This is where they typically tell us what song is getting brought to streaming services, what Twitch drops are coming, what sales they're doing, and every once in a while, the content that's actually going to be showing up in that month. This month, we already had the end of our SOT shot for The Devil's Roar. That ended on January 7th, which forgive me for not mentioning it. I forgot that it was actually running and I did not do any submissions. Chances are I probably wasn't going to actually win, because every time I do submit something, I see someone win who's already had either 2 accounts make it all the way to the 10, or someone who's already won like 7 times. And since they can win multiple times even after they've gotten their 10, it feels very not friendly to people who are not full-time photographers or have an extensive photographer history, or friends who can spin up a server and make their dreams come true with an entire Discord for that. So it always feels hard, is I guess my point. It doesn't feel impossible, but it always feels hard. And I guess if you want it hard enough, you'll do whatever you can to make it work. Whereas a lot of us just like to hit print screen, a lot of us are just like Windows Alt print screen, or hit the share button on our Xbox controller. And it's like, that was pretty. I think that's good enough. And we toss it up on social media and hope for the best, but it's like the shrouded ghost. It's a very low chance. So Hopefully with the next round, we'll get a different theme. It'll be interesting to see what that theme is, given that we're in the midst of a middle of a season, and that season is tied very much to the Devil's Roar. And I wonder if we'll actually have anything interesting going on with that. But outside of that, one of the things that you can always count on is Sea of Thieves for their music. Their music always is good. I have yet to hear a song from Sea of Thieves that I did not think was well made and awesome to listen to. So if you are like one of those folks that likes to listen to music and you love to listen to Sea of Thieves music, you can now listen to the Sanctuaries of Stillness, available on January 12th. It's going to be over on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Deezer, which is a terrible name, Tidal, which I thought was dead, and or TikTok, which I will not use. So I'm probably going to stick to Spotify because that's where my Hulu subscription's tied to, and give it a listen. So, but I do love the music. The game does a fantastic job of showing up with the music. So that's coming out this Monday at the time of this release. So listen to that. Let me know if you like it or not. I'm very curious to kind of hear if folks are digging the music with season 18, because I think it's good. I haven't really not liked it. So next on here, let's talk about, we're going to skip out on Act 2, because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But I do want to let you know about one of the other time relevant things, and that's going to be the Twitch drops. So Twitch drops are going to kick up the first weekend, or I guess for the first week of season 18's Act 2, because Act 2 is coming on Thursday the 22nd. So season 2, or Act 2 of season 18 will be the inaugural Twitch drops week. And so that's going to kick off on the 23rd, Friday, and it's going to go till Friday the 30th. So 2026, they say, is the first flurry of Twitch drops, which will be available for grabs from Sea of Thieves partnered streamers following January's monthly content update, containing a bounty of free gold, renown, voyages, and cosmetics, including the Gilded Phoenix Spyglass, the Thunderous Fury flag, and the new and exclusive Amethyst Mercenary Sails. So if you guys want those, it looks like they're doing the new approach of requiring you to watch X number of hours for the full set of stuff. If we go back and take a look at their previous times where they've done this, they have typically done this in the sense that you get the early stuff like the gold and renown for like the first hour and the first 30 minutes. Then they'll give you the voyage for like 1.5. Then they'll start moving their way into the actual like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hour marks for the actual cosmetics and voyages and like the good voyages and stuff. So I would anticipate 6 hours, and I would say that the 6 hours will probably be what you can get up to the Amethyst Sails, because last time they did drops, it was the Thunderous Fury Sails, which is the Zeus style kind of kind of thunder god ship set from the Emporium. And we got the Amethyst Mercenary flag, so the kind of Twitch set for that. And then of course the Gilded Phoenix Spyglass this time, whereas last time it was the Tankard. So you'll want to make sure that you go ahead and get your Twitch drops ready. If you're looking for those automatic Twitch drops like we had in the past, again, I always recommend to try and use an add-on for your browser to be able to automatically claim the drops. That way you aren't having to manually go in after each time bracket to claim it before it kicks over to the next one. In this case, what I'll recommend is Better TV or BPT, or Better TTV. Sorry, Better TTV, which you can install. And it took me a long time to kind of work this out, and I actually had to go like look it up and read some articles on this. But you don't actually access the automatic drop features in the add-on itself. You actually have to go to Twitch to access that. So when you go to Twitch, if you click on your profile, it has that drop down. So when you have a Better TTV add-on installed, what it'll do is it'll add an extra option underneath the settings, and you click on the Better TTV settings. And then what it'll do is it'll pop up a new little window, and the very first little tab should give you that opportunity to have the auto claim system built in. So there's two little check boxes. One of the check boxes is going to be for bonus channel points to automatically claim channel points when you're watching. The other one is going to be for drops. So I always recommend, we used to use Twitch drops, automatic Twitch drops. I think it was automatic Twitch drops was the add-on, but it was defunct. They stopped developing for it. So I would recommend Better TTV. It's been working for me for a couple of years, I think, quite a while. It's been a pretty reliable add-on. A lot of people use it for custom emotes that you can't get through Twitch. So in that case, it's one of those things that I think has a more broader appeal and a more broader use case than just the auto claim functionality of it. So I would say there's a better chance of it staying relevant and staying up to date, which is also a security concern. You also want to make sure that your add-ons are staying up to date, that they're actively being developed so that they have security holes patched whenever stuff like that happens, because you never know. But I would definitely recommend doing that. Save yourself the headache. Don't worry so much about what time did you start watching? How much longer do you have? You don't have to check the percentage. You can go and have your streamer up while you're watching TV or you're playing games and have that automatically claimed. So that way, if you get in a fight in game and you can't quite stop and you need to check and see where you're at with your progress, you don't have to worry about it. You can play on your Xbox with your phone to do it if you want to do it that way. But if you've got a browser up on your computer, much easier just to kind of go that route. So that is my recommendation, and I would recommend doing that because honestly, the Amethyst mercenary sales will probably have a giant Twitch logo, and there's nothing more out of character when you start seeing logos for other things, especially when they're streaming companies out on livery sets in a fantasy pirate game. So I would say use these. And if you've been around a hot minute, you already have the Amethyst monkey. I think mine's name is Bezos, or Jeff Bezos. I think it's Jeff Bezos. But I've been proudly claiming in on all that Amethyst mercenary stuff for Sea of Thieves. And I think I have a sloop that I've decked out in all the Amethyst mercenary stuff so far. And I call it FedEx delivery. I think it's called FedEx delivery because it's all purple. So I need to find some orange for it. But it's effectively my merchant alliance sloop that I do cargo trips on because I still need to get those commodities and stuff knocked out. So again, the dates, we're going from the 23rd of January down to the 30th. It's a full week, starts Friday, ends Friday. Make sure you get your actual auto claims on and find a good partnered streamer. It's a shame that they are doing the partner stuff and they're not bringing in the bilge rats. Once again, as someone who has not only patrons, but friends in the partnered bilge rat program or the bilge rat program, they're not technically partnered, as well as a chick who's part of the new next wave. There's a subsect of people who are working with Rare are not getting necessarily served in the Twitch drops section. They do get giveaways. So the giveaways are nice. It's always nice. If you're looking for Gilded Phoenix table and chairs, if you're looking for Obsidian 6-packs, if you're looking for a spare Steam code, the bilge rats through their program do get access to that stuff, which is fantastic. You know, how nice would it be to get a code for an Obsidian 6-pack if you're just picking up the game this winter and you wanted to try it out, but you really want some cool cosmetics and it costs so much, or it's so not your style, and you just want to have some of that cool Obsidian stuff. the Bilge Rats are out there streaming probably more Sea of Thieves than most of the partners are. I think the partners are kind of more on they're working the Arc Raiders grind right now. And I can't knock the hustle because it's their job. Whereas for most other people that it's a part-time thing, they're more like to just jump on Sea of Thieves. But when you're a streamer and there's nothing to do in Sea of Thieves and you've been sitting around kicking that can thinking, gosh, man, it's a desert out here. I'm parched. I need content. I need something to grind. And you're looking over at Arc Raiders and you're like, they got a lot of robots over there that need shooting. I could go get some stuff. I could find some junk and then climb into a tube and not get greasy and walk around in a poncho like I'm some sort of Clint Eastwood. So I don't blame streamers for wanting to go over to Arc Raiders. It's a very fun game. It's a really well-made game. And I genuinely think it's going to be something that creates those fun, immersive experiences that I think really kind of speaks to what a lot of Sea of Thieves fans like, is those kind of emergent kind of things that happen in the world. So I imagine the partners will be back, and when the Twitch drops go hard, they'll want to come back. They'll want to do the hours, and they'll probably want to get their time in for that. And try and kind of hold to the agreement that you have to stream Sea of Thieves X number of hours each month to stay in the partner program. I don't know how much that's policed, but I looking at how many of the Sea of Thieves partners are playing Arc Raiders right now, I gotta imagine that they're looking for the next act to kick up so they can go and talk about how amazing Molten Sands Fortress is and how much they're loving it and how it's the greatest thing since sliced bread and melted cheese that they've ever played. And then eventually they'll kind of hop back on Arc Raiders. But that is, if you guys don't know, man, that's how it has to go. That is the streamer etiquette right there. That's the playbook. So, give them love, give them support when they're playing other games as well too, because it's hard to be a full-time streamer. It's extremely hard. So, don't hate on people for wanting to play other games. Hate on people for hating the games, for no good reason, or getting overly defensive for something that they shouldn't need to worry about because they're trying to do their thing. But again, just to go over this one more time. Twitch drops Friday, January 23rd to January 30th. We're going to be getting Renown. We're going to be getting Voyages. There's some free gold thrown in there for, kicks. We're getting the Gilded Phoenix Spyglass, which should be pretty. The Thunderous Fury Flag, which is the opposite of what we got last time. And then the Amethyst Mercenary Sales, which is the opposite of the sales that we got for the Thunderous Fury stuff last time. So good stuff. Looking forward to it. I'll be happy to throw up one of my favorite partners and give them some love. I might actually take a look at some of the newer partners because I know I've been told that there are newer partners that have recently been brought in. And I hate that I can't remember who it was, but I will most likely see if I can give them some view time and some viewers, as opposed to the guys that I know were always there, are always going to be there, and always going to have their community. There's most definitely like a subsect of newer streamers that have hit the partner program that I'm sure would love to have some attention. But outside of that, probably going to get my time in on someone's going to get my tab for that time. And then the last major thing. Well, okay. So there's a sale for pets. If you're wanting to pick up a pet, or there's a pet that's been in the Emporium that you've wanted for a while, Rare's going to be doing a pet sale that's going on from January 28th. It's a Wednesday to Wednesday, February 4th. So just as a heads up on that one, they're going to have sales on pretty much all the pets. So, but the main thing, the big one, is going to be Season 18's Community Weekend. We didn't have one for Season 17, but we do have one for Season 18. And that's going to be a full weekend. It's going to kick off on Saturday, January 31st. and it's going to go till Monday, February 2nd, which means if you are working on your guild ledgers, if you're working on your Hunter's Call emissaries, please remember that this is going to be one of those Golden Glory kind of weekends with the double boost in rewards. So you want to ensure that you keep an eye on your ledgers at least for Saturday, because that's where a lot of people are going to come in to the game. They're going to push to get as much as they can over the weekend. And that may, if you're close to getting bumped out of your emissary ledger, that may put you back a month. So just a reminder, check in on your emissary ledgers for your guild, because we just got some new guild stuff that kicked up this month, and your Hunter's Call, if you still haven't gotten that, and any others. Honestly, I think the Hunter's Call and I think the guild stuff is the stuff that's the most current. I think out of the emissary ledgers that we've been getting, we haven't seen any for any of the other ones in a while. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if they're just working on a new set of stuff that they're going to be releasing over time, but it's been a hot minute. It'd be nice to kind of have a reason to run emissary outside of just the monetary value, and you actually had the reward tied to it. But those are still out there. So also, you know what? While I'm at it, I'm looking at you. I want you to take a look at your little device while you're listening to me. And I want you to think about this right now. I'm not looking at those of you that have your insider week done. You guys are excused. You can go back to focusing on I'm talking to the people that haven't gotten their emissary or their insider rewards done yet. Okay. You focused? You with me right now? Please go into the game tonight. Go on Insiders, go to a skeleton camp, do the 3 little constellations, kill the 4 waves of skeletons, grab the little red glob, go back upstairs and turn it in, please, because you forget every week and you forget that you need to do it. And it only takes 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes out of your day. If you really, 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 really have to, grab your phone, grab a controller, or if you're really good, just keep your phone, go into the bathroom, say, I'm going to be a minute, and then just use that time, put the little fan on, and then just put little earbuds in and go do it in the bathroom. So that way you're away from everyone else. You don't have to, you don't have to be like walking over and be like, do you think I'd have like 30 minutes to go do something real quick on Sea of Thieves, and have the person that would say no look at you with a raised eyebrow and say, do you know how much there is around the house? Have you checked on the children? You're forgetting to do it each week. I want you to think about making sure that you do it this week. It resets on Friday. Okay. So fresh week, fresh start, fresh year. Let's try and get our insider rewards finished this year. What do you say? We've got plenty of time. There's plenty of weeks to do it. Dedicate yourself every time you listen to this podcast. Dedicate yourself 20 minutes. Go out to Insiders, grab a skeleton camp, get the orb, turn it in, be done. That's all you have to do. It's very, very easy. It's very simple. They've cut out all the gold, all the other stuff. It's just the rewards. You can get it done. I know you can. Set yourself aside 20 minutes a week to get it done. You'll get it done this year. Okay. All right. It's everyone that was listening, that you've got your insiders done. You can come back in. You're welcome back into the podcast. Good to have. Thanks for sitting out. I appreciate that. We had to have a conversation about commitments and goals. So you're good. You don't have to worry about it. Anything. You're fine. So yeah, that's what's going on with season 18 community weekend. It's kicking off the 31st. It's going till the 2nd. So it's going to be that straight up weekend. They're going to have the pop-up plunder. They're going to have the traditional free flag. They're going to have the emote. They're going to have the, what's the picture wall. They're going to have the picture wall. I'm assuming they didn't actually call that out, but boy, if they didn't have a picture wall this year, that'd be really weird. I mean, they already killed Grog Manet. Am I right? I just wanted the other notch. Okay. I'm good. It's just a notch. It's just a notch. We don't need it. It's fine. Nobody used the fireworks. Where was I? Pop-up plunder. Make sure you guys are checking out the pop-up plunder. They're rare. If you guys are listening to this, as much as I love you, cut it out with the stupid, like, frippin' flopping things, man. The maps are too hard for my brain and I can't handle it. I'm just sitting there staring, refreshing the thing, waiting for Tomas or Captain McGuffin to like figure it out and be like, it's here. And I'll be like, because I was not going to figure that out at all. Y'all had lines and bananas and almonds for some reason. And I was supposed to work out that it was on G5 on Twin Groves, which I don't even think is actually part of the, like, I don't like, are you kidding me with these things? Come on. Just make it like the people that get there, they just sailed better. It's like you're rewarding brains, and that's not my forte. My forte is, look, wind go this way, sails go that way. I'm good. I'm just asking for a little bit of a handicap here. That's all. I just want like a little bit of a handicap. Just dumb it down for me just a little bit this time, if you guys don't mind. Put the effort back into Tall Tales, or bring back Mysteries, or resurrect DeMarco for sake. I did like, don't put it on the pop-up plunder. I'm not that good, please. But it's going to be available. So I hope everyone has an opportunity to get it. It's a great way to get those raid items. I think I got a lot of raid items actually that way. And it's also a great way to get the treacherous plunder too. If you're not like me and thought it would be funny to do B-roll for one of the episodes where all I did was sit at place very high north. What is place? Shores of Gold, Tribute Peak. There we go. That's what I have to do sometimes. You guys don't even get to hear that most of the time. I spent the whole podcast just fishing in the pond up there. I didn't even get that much good stuff. I think I got like 2 pieces of treacherous plunder. That's a really bad rate for me typically. Like, you can usually get pretty, but I was not paying attention either too. I was actually doing something else. But that's not the point. The point is that treacherous plunder comes in the pop-up plunder from time to time. And that's a really good way to get that done, especially since it takes so long to actually get it. You can actually get it at any pond. It's just that for whatever reason, Tribute Peak has a better spawn rate, and it's a lot more secluded. So you can kind of sit out there and do whatever you want for a long time. And nobody really goes up there to bug you. And if they do go up there to bug you, they have no life, because they're coming for someone who also has no life. So, a good reminder, go touch grass, if it's not covered in snow, which mine has mostly this year been, because I'm not in California anymore, which is a stark reminder that everywhere else in the United States has seasons and weather, and mine isn't just relegated to the Matterhorn or Big Bear in California, which are really, really local references. So that's pretty much it as far as the Sea of Thieves news stuff goes. It's nice that we're finally like winding down on Act 1. Hopefully everyone has your commendations knocked out. Hopefully you're enjoying the little bits of season 1 that we have. The Eternal Guards, I still think are cool. I think they're really cool. I think I've worked out the thing that you have to do for them, so I'm not too worried about that. But they are fun to fight. I had a pretty good time getting those commendations knocked out. So, but with that, let's get into actual Act 2 information. So you kind of have a little bit of an idea going into Act 2. So I imagine by the time you're listening to this, there's a very good chance that John McMurtry has already released his masterpieces with Daryl, doing a fantastic job breaking down the teases and hints of all the cool things that are coming to Sea of Thieves in the next installment of Act 2. Wahaha. Last on today's docket, let's talk about Sea of Thieves Season 18 Act 2. Now, this is going to bring in the Molten Sands Fortress stuff. So, as with Season 17 and for the foreseeable future, Rare is going to be using the second act of the season as a way to do player engagement, something that will bring players together or some sort of contesting event. And I think that's a great way to keep the PvPvE nature of Sea of Thieves alive. I think it's a good way to drive attention to areas where the game may want it or need it in relation to the actual story as well, too, now that we're talking about it. So I really like that they are doing the whole return to the Devil's Roar, because that gives Molten Sands Fortress a chance to shine, especially given the orb stream and how we've had a lot more information revealed about the history of Molten Sands Fortress, how there's a lot of ancients, magic and rituals kind of tied to it in the sense of like what they used it for, and how for some reason we turned it into a fortress, or Flameheart turned it into a fortress. But if you go over to Molten Sands Fortress right now, you actually see that there's been some changes to the island. In fact, the Reapers not only have dug up all of these sarcophagi with the eternal guards in them, but they've actually found the altar and subsequently placed the altar in a very obvious location at Molten Sands Fortress, and actually done a little bit of rework to some of the scaffolding in the wood structures and added some cloth canopies to the actual island. Now, you can't do anything right now, so if you're going there before the 22nd, it's not going to be very impressive. It'll look different and it'll be kind of cool to see some changes. But there's not going to be anything that you can really do until the 22nd. So when Act 2 kicks off, Molten Sands Fortress is going to offer a new challenge. The statement here from Rare says the word on the seas claims that there's a rare and precious orb of the banished locked away in its vault. And this one challenges people to do things for the trade companies, as they are only going to entrust this to their emissaries. So, and if you guys don't know, if maybe you're fresh to the game and you're not quite sure what the emissaries are something that you can get at level 25, I believe 25, because I think that's when the level reputation caps out in Safer Seas. But you go over to your emissary, or your trading company representative on one of the outposts. You speak to them and they have promotions and you can claim the promotions. And then when you go into the actual shop, not only will you see the wide dearth of themed cosmetics for the trade company, but there's going to be an emissary flag. It's a one-time purchase for 20,000 gold. So not a whole lot. In fact, you go do a skeleton camp, you bring back an orb. That's the emissary flag right there. You're all set. And you can then pledge yourself to the emissary. Now, for old salts who are listening to this, I apologize, because I know that me explaining what an emissary is doesn't always, seem like the best amount of time, but there's some new players out there. We just had a whole slew of folks come in as a result of Christmas and the holidays and gift giving. So there's lots of reasons for people to be listening to this and think, I don't know no clue what an emissary is. I just go get gold. I just go get stuff. And sometimes I get sunk, sometimes I don't. But getting the emissary will give you that grade of increased gold and reputation. So it's a fantastic way to kind of earn gold, earn reputation, kind of work your way up the ladder and get those ranks in so that you can get those distinctions, which give you rings to kind of show like your kind of dedication to the trade companies. But each of the trade companies are going to ask you to go and find a key from one of the Eternal Guards. And that's going to be how you kick things off. And if you guys are not quite sure like where to begin or how to track this stuff, what I'd recommend is in game, head over to the seasonal tab. In the seasonal tab, you're actually going to have the seasonal deeds in the overview in there. It's not the seasonal renown. It's the one right above it. So if you're following along or you check this out later, then you'll be able to see that there's going to be 6 different rewards, one for each of the different trade companies. You've got Gold Hoarder, Merchant Alliance, Order of Souls, Hunter's Call, Athena's Fortune, and of course, Reapers. So with that, you'll have 3 different tasks for each trade company that you need to perform. The first one is going to be complete an emissary quest to defeat an eternal guard for each of the different trade companies. Then you have to activate the Molten Sands Fortress using the key as a Gold Hoarder, Merchant Alliance, Order Souls, what have you, emissary. Then you need to go and actually sell an Orb of the Banished, which is going to be the main kind of chest of tribute or chest of fortune, if you will, if you're getting a vault or you're getting a Fort of the Damned, or no, what is it? Fort of Fortune. You'll get that Orb of the Banished out of the Molten Sands Fortress, and you have to turn that into the respective trade company. So you want to do this at least 6 times, unless you get contested or you happen. Well, no, because you're going to have to do it regardless. I've checked on insiders, and oddly enough, I have not been able to do anything on insiders. So I think they've either turned it off or the testing was completed. But as of recording, I have not actually gotten to experience this. So mine's going to be fresh, coming with the actual introduction to Act 2 for Season 18. And I'll just kind of experience it as everyone else. But effectively, what I can guess is that we're going to get an emissary quest that will then have us go kill one of the Eternal Guards. We'll get one of those little pizza pie keys. And then we go over to old Molten Sands Fortress. We'll put the key on the altar. We'll light the 4 beacons. No, not beacons. We're not calling for Gondor. What are they called? Torches? I guess they're torches. Braziers. Braziers. Braziers is something else. Braziers. And once you light all of those, it'll kick up the fortress, and then you complete the fortress as you would normally a fortress. And that's when you can go get all the loot. You still got to, you really got to run down that path, man. They decided to make that a very long path. So you'll, honestly, the hike from the vault to the ship is, it's a very long hike. And I imagine that's going to be a real fun tucking experience for people, on an active volcano, no less. But you're going to need to get the Orb of the Banish, which is going to be in there somewhere. You'll find out. But once you get that, you will be able to take that back to one of the trade companies. Molten Sands or Galleon's Grave are going to be your closest outposts for that type of a trip. So just kind of as a heads up where you need to go for that. The caveat to that, I think, is going to be Hunter's Call, because Hunter's Call has the Brian's Bazaar, which is literally like right next to Golden Sands. So I think anyone that's looking to do it for Hunter's Call, that's going to be the easiest to get the orb turned into. So I think that's going to be the case. Much like Season 17, this is one of the few times where you will not be able to do much of this in Safer Seas, because it is a PvP VE based event. You will need to actually participate on high seas. And I imagine because this is going on for a month, it will be very, very highly sought after at the beginning of the season, where everyone's excited to jump in and actually try it out. And by the time it comes down to the last couple of weeks, maybe the last few weeks of the actual season, or the month in this case, Act 2, there's a good chance that it'll probably be pretty uncontested, as most of the stuff comes and goes. Because what I've started to notice, and I'm sure most folks have as well too, the content will come in at the beginning of the act. Everyone will enjoy it for the first couple of weeks, and then as you get closer towards the end of that month, things will wane. People will get their commendations finished up and then hop over to something else that's on their backlog. As many of us, and I'm looking at all of you, have at least 5 games on backlog. Anyone that says that you do not have 5 games on backlog either only plays Sea of Thieves, and I know who you are, or for whatever reason you have really good time management and have managed to get some of your games down from the 5 to like 2. But I'm willing to bet most of you have at least 5 games on your backlog. And if you haven't, you have not been claiming free games online. Just going to toss that out there. So as always, I hope that you guys have a good opportunity with this. I hope that you guys have a really nice time kind of getting the actual, what's it called? Orb. Yeah. The Orb of the Banished, and get to turn that in and, maybe take some from some other folks if that's what you want to do. All right, pirates, I think that is going to do it for the 400th episode. If you're just joining in and you just barely caught into the podcast, welcome. For those of you that have been listening from the beginning, why? You're almost as bad as I am. Like, there's way better content out there. But I still love you, and I still appreciate that you've been listening since the beginning. Even if you've taken breaks or missed episodes, I'm not gonna mess or be too upset about that, because I've missed weeks. I'm usually pretty religious about it, but I will miss weeks from time to time, and I do hate that. I do not like missing weeks, because I know how nice it is to have that regular thing that you look forward to, especially on Monday. Oh man, I hope you all, if you're listening to this on Monday, I hope your Monday is going well for you. I hope you're warm. I hope you're happy. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you really don't have too many issues at work or at home, or things are going better, or whatever is going on in your life. Just think about where you were the last time this happened, and if it got better. Because if it got better, fantastic. If it didn't, you survived it still. And it's one of those things that I have to say, the thing I like about Sea of Thieves is the sense of having people along the ride with you, to have experiences, to have those shared moments. So if you're running solo, see what you can get away with. If you got your crew, have a fun time, mess around. Don't be upset about getting bombed with a keg, or blunder bombed, off the boat. Have some fun. Don't take things too seriously. Remember, we're all just here to have a good time away from the stuff that's stressing us out. And if the game is stressing you out, try to find something else to do in the game that makes you happy, and see if you can have some other folks to kind of keep your spirits up. Because this is the time of the year where everyone is kind of miserable because it's winter and it's cold. And unless you love the cold and you're going out and snowboarding and stuff, you're probably not playing a lot of Sea of Thieves. But unless you're having a good time with the weather and stuff like that, it's tough. It's always going to be rough. And with the new year, you want to set some new goals for yourself. You want to try and make 2026 better than 2025. And I think you can do that. And I'm looking at you, insider people. You need to, don't think I didn't forget. Go get the skeleton camp orb, get it done, 20 minutes. You can sit on the toilet if you really have to. Get away from whoever, go on lunch break if you can. If you've got a 30-minute lunch break, you can still, that's 10 minutes to eat. That's plenty of time to eat, unless you're making your food, in which case meal prep better. But you can get it done. I believe in you. I know you. I just got mine done today. There's no reason why you can't. We can do this. We can do this. We got 51 more weeks, I think. I'm not good at math or astrology. But I know I'm a Cancer. That applies to multiple things. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end it here. Pirates, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for spending time with me. To Owen, I'm not big into sports, buddy, but I appreciate the emails. To Jeff H, thank you for always commenting on the episodes on Patreon. To Godhammer, to People's Republic, to Captain Chonky, to Norwegian, to the folks that I see constantly out there, to the Keelhauled Hourglass crew on the weekends, to Blue Crab, to Status Hidden, to Static Mirror, to everyone out there. I love reading your guys' comments. I love seeing when Shu goes to stream. I love seeing when Chenzo goes to stream. I love seeing when folks are popping on in the Discord. It really brightens my day to see that you guys have a place that you can hang out and chat with folks. And it makes me so happy to know that in some way or some shape or form, I had a small part of that. So thank you for being with me for the number of episodes that you've been with me, or at least seeing me through to the 400th episode. I never in a million years would have guessed that I would have started a podcast in 2018 and made it to 400 episodes. I may have to tap out at 500 and remain the undefeated champion of Sea of Thieves podcasting. And we'll have to start up a new podcast for Sea of Thieves 2 or something. I don't know, but whatever the future holds, just know that you always have an opportunity to do what you want and to make your day even better than it is by taking hold of what's going on and only worrying about what you can control. And you know what? I hope you do it. I hope you do it as much as I do it. And I hope that your 2026 has kicked off right. And if it hasn't, we got a whole year to make up for it. So don't even fret. And especially to those that are going to SOTFest this year, I hope everything goes so smoothly for you. And I really hope that you guys are checking those ticket prices, making sure you can get a better deal if you can get a better deal, because that always is a thing that not many people know about. Totally go check those ticket prices and stuff like that. Outside of that, Pirates, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much for listening to up to 400 episodes of the Keelhauled Podcast. If you want to get a hold of me, there's plenty of ways to do that. Discord is going to be the best way. Honestly, social media, I'm over at CAPT_LOGUN or just CAPTLOGUN or just CaptainLogun or CaptainLogun. It's the LOGUN that's the important part of it. Otherwise, just find me on YouTube, all those places. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm always willing to listen and give you my feedback on whether it's a thing that I'll implement or not implement, because I'm always open to hearing about what people want to hear. And I tried real hard to go real hard on the ZamWow this week. But anyway, Pirates, thank you. I love you. And I look forward to sailing with you on the Sea of Thieves.